Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Storyteller number 9, Eddie Hejka.
Perfect. I'm going to put a big tape on it. It seems to be falling.
All right, got it. Okay. Thanks. Okay, it was September 6, 1986. I was 27 years old, working, doing delivery for this electrical contractor in Highland Park. You know, one of many jobs I had in my teens and my 20s, you know, just sort of meandering through life. But one of the perks of that job, the unexpected perks, was one of their vehicles was a brand new F-150 heavy-duty pickup. And they didn't like leaving it in the yard behind the shop because they were afraid of theft. So I got to drive it home every day. And of course, if you're in your 20s and you own a pickup, it seems like every weekend one of your friends needs to move. And that weekend was no different. I helped a friend of mine, Barb, move to a new apartment, and afterwards we're having a beer, and she invited me to a party that evening. And she said, oh, I'm sure you'll know some folks there. You know, it was a group of union activists with a group called Teamsters for a Democratic Union. It was a house party in southwest Detroit. So I go, and Barb never makes it, but I remember just inside the front door. It was a beautiful late summer evening, and I'm talking, laughing with some friends and having a good time, and out of the corner of my eye, I catch a glimpse, and I think, holy shit, who is that? Now, I'm still laughing and talking with my friends, but I'm watching this angel come out of the kitchen through this darkened dining room that's been cleared out where the music's playing, into the front room where I'm at, and she sits behind me to my right. And she looks stunning in her blue jeans and her gray Rhode Island sweatshirt. Now, I'm still laughing and talking with my friends, but my mind is focused on her, and I'm thinking, I got to meet her. But then I think, I'm sure she's going to be followed up by some big muscle-bound Teamster guy, right? But no. So now I'm making a plan. I'm going to make it over to the music. I'm going to switch it to something a little more danceable and see if she wants to dance. So just as I made it over to the music, I'm reaching to change it. There's another hand going to change the music as well, and I hear this beautiful, slightly raspy voice say, can you put on something we can dance to? It's my angel. So we dance till we look up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Our host is asleep on the couch. There's a handful of people starting to clean up, so we pitch in to help out. And we're talking, and I say, hey, you know, every Sunday a bunch of us get together to play softball in Hamtramck. Why don't you come join us? She said, oh, that sounds like fun, but you know, I'm not really a baseball player. I like basketball. I said, basketball? We're always playing basketball in my neighborhood. My cousin Bob comes over with his neighbors. Me and my neighbors, we're playing Monday. Give me your phone number. I'll give you a call. And she stands on her toes, and she whispers her phone number in my ear. Over the next week, we played softball, we played basketball at least 3 times, and then afterwards we'd go for walks, we'd sit on the porch, we'd talk for hours, and we had so much in common. She's one of 10. I'm one of 11. She's the 6th of 7 daughters. I'm the 6th of 7 sons. We both grew up in these working-class Catholic immigrant neighborhoods. Her in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, me on the west side of Detroit. And everything we talked about, we just clicked on everything. But mostly we laughed, and we laughed, and we laughed. And then she was gone for 4 days, back to Rhode Island for her sister's wedding. And when she comes back, she gives me a call. And she asked me out on a date, our first date. Well, sort of a date. It was a retirement dinner for somebody she worked with. She worked for SEIU Local 79, his union local on the west side of Detroit on Grand River, and I go there. Oh, Local 79, all right. And I'm in that Saturday evening, we're in the union hall, and her friends, these other organizers and reps are coming up to me and say, oh, so you're Mr. Wonderful. Like, Mr. Wonderful? Apparently she told her friends about this guy, Eddie, she met, but she couldn't remember my last name or couldn't pronounce my last name. So she said, oh, he's wonderful. So they're like, hey, come meet Mr. Wonderful. So we had dinner, and then I asked if she wanted to go for a walk, because I used to live in that neighborhood. So we go for a walk, and we end up on at this little bar on Trumbull around Temple, about a half mile north of Old Tiger Stadium. And we're dropping quarters in the jukebox, for those of you who remember jukeboxes. And we're dancing and dancing. It was turning into a perfect first date. And I remember we're dancing to Anita Baker, Sweet Love. And I were wrapped in each other's arms, and I lean back, and I look her in the eye, and I do the only thing that makes any sense in this world. I ask her to marry me. And though we've known each other only 2 weeks at this point, she says yes. And at this point, I think we've kissed twice. And the first time, I remember our teeth clinked because I was just smiling. I was so happy. And I jokingly would say, well, it was the only shot I had. I had to get her to say yes before she got to know me. And 4 weeks later, 36th District Court, 6 weeks from the day I first saw her, I married Michelle Fecto. And this October 20th will be 30 years. And in those 3 decades, we've packed 3 lifetimes, more accomplishments than my meandering 27-year-old self could have even imagined. Parented 18 children. Shared our fears, our worries, our tears, our love, our anger, but most of all, our laughter. So, the next time somebody asks you to do them a favor, whether it's to help them move or something else, be open to saying yes, because it could just save your life.
Eddie Hejka. Eddie, that's a leap there.